This is the Foundation Paper 1 non-calculator exam from 2020, originally scheduled for May 2020, but it was actually sat in November. Let's have a look at question 1. So write the following numbers in order of size. Start with the smallest number. So when we're ordering numbers, we start with the biggest digit. Let's start with the ones. They're all 0 in the ones. So we'll move on to the next one from left to right. The next one is the tenths. We've got 3, 4, 3, 3. So we know 0.4 is going to be the biggest number. That's going to be the fourth one. These other three numbers have got 3 in the tenths. So we'll move on to the hundredths. We've got 2. So the hundredths, we've got 2, 5, and 0. So the smallest number is the one with a 0. That's going to go first. Then 2 is less than 5. So 0.32 will go second. And then we'll have our 0.35. So from the smallest to the largest, 0.309, 0.32, 0.35, and 0.4. Question 2. Here is a list of numbers. From the list, write down a multiple of 3. So which of these numbers that they've given us is in the 3 times table? So 18 is in the 3 times table. So we write down 18. Question 3. Write 4.666 correct to the nearest whole number. So 4.666 is in between 4 and 5. Is it closer to 4 or 5? So we're looking at the tenths column and we're saying, is it 5 or above? It is. So we round up and so it goes to 5. It's closer to 5. Question 4. Write 3/4 as a decimal. That's 0.75. And question 5. Write down the value of the 7 in 8,765. It's in the hundreds column. It's 700. Question 6. Geeta spins a fair 8-sided spinner. On the probability scale, mark with a cross the probability that it will land on C. So we've got 4 C's out of 8 in total. That's half. Half of it is C. So the probability of a C is a half. Write down the probability it will land on a D. There are no D's. There are no D's in there. So the probability is 0. There's no chance that that spinner can land on D. Question 7. The incomplete pictogram shows information about the number of eggs sold on Monday. So we know how many are sold on Monday. This is complete, the Monday part, and that's 18 eggs. So that's 18 eggs. So 1 whole 1.5 is 18 eggs. Or we could say 6/4 make 18 eggs. It doesn't matter which of those we use. I'm going to say 6/4. So 6/4, 6 of these equals 18 eggs. So we could say that each 1/4 is 18 divided by 6, which is 3. So each one of these is 3 eggs, which means a half. So 2/4. A half is going to be 2 of these, so 6 eggs. And a whole circle is, well, 2 halves, which is 12 eggs. So each quarter is 3, each half is 6, and each whole is 12. So we can see that we had a 12 and a 6 to make 18. On Tuesday, we sold 24 eggs. So that's, well, 6 more than Monday. 24 take away 18 is 6. So we're going to have 6 more. And that's another half. Half is 6 eggs. So another half for Tuesday. So that'll make another half on here will make 2 complete circles. So that's 24 eggs. And on Wednesday, it's 3 more again. So 3 more than Tuesday, and that's another quarter. A quarter is 3 eggs. So we're going to have 2 whole circles. Plus an extra quarter. And we need to write the key as well. So in the key, I'm either going to write 1 quarter equals 3 eggs, or a whole circle is 12 eggs, or half is 6. So a whole circle equals 12 eggs. So we've completed the pictogram and the key, so we are done. Question 8. We've got a grid, we've got A and B marked on it. Write down the coordinates of A. So it's x first, then y. So 2 along the x, 3 up the y. So from the origin, 2 along the x, 3 up the y. So it's 2, 3. Write down the coordinates of B. So nothing along the x and 1 down the y. So 0, -1. On the grid, mark with a cross the point -2, 1 and label it C. So backwards 2 on the x, up 1 on the y. So -2, 1. -2, 1, that's C. Question 9. A bag contains red counters and blue counters only. The number of red counters to the number of blue counters is 3 to 4. Write down the fraction of the counters that are red. So we've got 3 parts red and 4 parts blue. 3 parts red, 4 parts blue. So in total, we've got 3 plus 4, which is 7 parts. So the red, we've got 3 parts red out of 7 in total, 3/7. Part B, write the ratio 12 to 30 in the form 1 to n. So we need to make the left side equal to 1. Let's just half them to start with. So we've got 6 to 15. Half of 12 is 6. Half of 30 is 15. And then they're both in the 3 times table. So divide both of them by 3. So that's 2 to 5. But we want it in the form 1 to n. So we're going to have to half them again. So it's 1. Half of 5 is 2.5. So it's 1 to 2.5. Question 10. Jenny has 12 marbles. 1/4 of these 12 marbles are large. Let's work that out now. So 1/4 of 12. That's the same as 12 divided by 4. And 3 4s go into 12. 1/4 of 12 is 3. So there are 3 large, and the rest are small. So there's 12, take away 3, which means there are 9 small marbles. Each large marble has a weight of 70 grams, and each small marble has a weight of 50 grams. Work out the total weight. So we've got 3 lots of 70. 3 times 7 is 21. Add on the 0. That's 210. Each small marble has a weight of 50 grams. We've got 9 of them. 9 times 50. 9 times 5 is 45. Times it by 10. Add on the 0. 450. So the total weight is 210 plus 450, which is 0 in the ones, 6 in the tens, 6 in the hundreds. 660 grams. Question 11. Reflect the shaded shape in the mirror line. So each point is going to be the same distance away from the mirror line on the other side. So this point here is 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3 in the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This point is 2, 3, and the top point here is 1, 2, 3, 4 away. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 on the other side. Now we just need to join up these points. And there is our reflected shape. Question 12. The diagram shows a number machine. Find the output when the input is 7. So we put the input in, we multiply it by 2, then subtract 3, and then we get the output. So if we're putting 7 in, we're going to multiply it by 2, which gives us 14. Then we're going to take away 3, and that gives us 11. So that's the output. The output is 11. Part B, find the input when the output is 41. So if we're going to go backwards, we need to do the opposite operation. So if we're going to go backwards from the output back to the input, we do the opposite of taking away 3, which is adding 3, and then we do the opposite of multiplying by 2, which is dividing by 2. So 41 plus 3 is 44. Then we divide by 2. 44 divided by 2 is 22. So the input would be 22. And we could check that by going forwards. So 22 times 2 is 44. Then take away 3 is 41. Question 13. The diagram shows 2 points A and B on a map. And we've got a scale 1 to 25,000. Part A says find the bearing of B from A. So let's join them with a line. So the bearing of B from A, we're going from A, that's this angle here. That's what we need to measure. So we get a protractor. And we line it up. So the 0 is lined up with the north line. Then we measure round, and that looks like 25 degrees. So Find the bearing of B from A. So 25 degrees as a bearing. So with a bearing, we use 3 figures. So I'm going to write 025. So 25 degrees as a bearing, 025. If it was 40 degrees, it'd be 040. So we just use 3 figures with bearings. And it's always measured from the north line. Work out the real distance between A and B. Give your answer in kilometers. So we need to measure the distance on the map first. So we get our ruler, measure the line between A and B. So it's 5 centimeters on the map. So 5 centimeters on the map. And the scale is 1 to 25,000. So it's 5 times 25,000 centimeters. 5 25s are 125. So it's 125,000 centimeters. I can change it into meters by dividing by 100. So dividing by 100, I can cross off 2 zeros to do that. Cancel off 2 zeros. So 1,250 meters. We want kilometers. So that's divided by 1,000 again. So that's 1.25. 1.25 kilometers. Question 14. Ishmael asked 30 students at college to tell him the sport they each like best from cricket, tennis and swimming. So we've got 30 already written in, that's the total. 11 of the 20 female students said swimming. So 11 out of 20 said swimming. 2 male students tennis. Male tennis 2. 5 students cricket in total. So 5 cricket in total. The number of male students who said cricket was the same as the male students who said swimming. So these 2 are the same. Those 2 are the same. Right, let's fill in the blanks now. So 30 in total, 20 female. So 30 take away 20 means there are 10 male students. Now the cricket and swimming are the same. So 10 take away 2 means there's 8 left. So 8 split in half means 4 in each. Then we can add this one down. 4 and 11, the total is 15. This one, 5 take away 4. So 1 female student likes cricket for the total to be 5. Then let's do the total. So 5 and 15 are 20. We need 30, so 10 more. And 10 like tennis, 2 are male, so 10 take away 2, 8 left. And we can check 1, 8 and 11 do make 20. It works in every direction, so we know we've done it correctly. Okay, question 15. Jamil makes a drink by mixing 1 part orange squash with 9 parts water. He uses 750 milliliters of orange squash. He's going to put the drink he has mixed into 1 litre bottles. Work out the greatest number of 1 litre bottles that he can fill completely. So 750 milliliters is 1 part, and in total there's 1 part orange, 9 parts water, so there are 10 parts in total. So how much is 10 parts? Well, 10 times as much, 7,500 milliliters. That's his total amount. That's his total amount he's making. So that's 7.5 liters in total. That's how much drink he's making. To change from milliliters to liters, divide by 1,000. So 7.5 liters. How many 1 liter bottles can he fill? 7. Question 16. The table gives information about the number of points scored by each of 16 students in a game. So there are 16 students. This should add up to 16. 4, 9, 13, 16. Tina worked out the median number of points scored to be 5. Explain why it's not possible for the median to be 5. So one person scored no points, 3 scored 1 point, 5 people got 2 points, 4 people got 3 points, and 3 people got 4 points. The median can't be 5 because everyone scored less than 5. So the median must be between 0 and 4. The median must be within the range of points scored. Median must be between 0 and 4. Tina also worked out the total number of points scored. Here is her working. Tina made a mistake. Find out the total number. Made a mistake in her working to find out the total number. Describe the mistake Tina made. So the first stage is correct. 0 times 1, 1 times 3, 2 times 5, 3 4s, and 4 3s. That's correct. So the mistake must be in her multiplication. And, well, 0 times 1. 0 times 1 is 0, not 1. So what is the mistake? 0 times 1 should be 0, not 1. Question 17. In a shop, a TV has a normal price of £500. The shop has a sale. On Monday, the normal price of the TV is reduced by 1/10 to give the sale price. So 1/10 of 500 is 500 over 10, which is 50. So it's reduced by £50. So it's now 500 minus 50, which is £450. On Tuesday, the sale price of the TV is reduced by 20%. So the new price is reduced by 20%. So let's find 10%. So 450 divided by 10. To find 10%, we divide by 10. Is £45. That's 10%. So 20% is 2 lots of £45, which is £90. So that's 20%. 450 take away 90. Which will be £360. Does Chris have enough money? Chris wants to buy the TV. He has £400 to spend. Does he have enough money? Well, yes. £400 is bigger than £360, so he has enough money. Question 18. Work out an estimate for 790 times 289 divided by 49. So we're going to round these. We're working out an estimate. Let's round them to one significant figure, so the nearest 100. So we're going to have 800 times 300, and we'll round 49 to the nearest 10, which makes it 50. So that makes the calculation a lot easier. 800 times 300 divided by 50. So 8 threes are 24. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. And that's divided by 50. Let's divide top and bottom by 10, which gives us 24,000 divided by 5. I'm going to double top and bottom, which will give me 48,000 divided by 10, which will give me 4,800. Question 19. Expand. So we're going to multiply the term outside the bracket by both of the terms inside the bracket. So times and times again. X times x gives us x squared, and x times negative 4 is negative 4x. Part B says factorize. That's the opposite of expanding. That means put back into brackets. So what can we take out of both of these? What times table are 10 and 15 both in? They're both in the 5 times table. We can take 5 outside. 5 times what makes 15y? 5 threes make 15. So 5 times 3y makes 15y. And 5 times what would give us a negative 10? 5 times negative 2 gives us negative 10. So there we've factorized. Part C, solve. 7 times f minus 5 equals 28. So there's two ways of doing this. We could either expand the brackets first, or we could divide both sides by 7 first. It doesn't matter which one you do. Either way, you're going to end up with the right answer. I'm going to divide by 7. So divide both sides by 7. So 28 over 7 is 4. And then we've got f minus 5 equals 4. To get rid of the minus 5, we plus 5 to both sides. So f must be 9. Question 20. The first 5 terms of an arithmetic sequence are 1, 4, 7, 10, 13. Write down an expression in terms of n for the nth term. So we're going up in threes every time. Going up by 3 every time. From 1 to 4 is going up by 3. From 4 to 7 is up by 3 again. So it's like the 3 times table. And the 3 times table in terms of n is 3n. So 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6, and so on. So this sequence is called 3n. The sequence above it is always 2 less. So it's 2 less than 3n, which is 3n take away 2. Question 21. Show that, so 2 1/3 times 3 3/4 equals 8 3/4. So we're just going to multiply these two together, and we should get 8 3/4. Now we can't multiply them together until we make them into top-heavy fractions. So these mixed numbers are no good to us. We need to change them. So we've got 2 whole ones and 1/3. So 2 whole ones and 1/3. Each whole is the same as 3/3. So we've got 2 whole ones and a third, and each whole one is the same as 3/3. So we've got 6/3 and 1/3, which makes 7/3. We can do 2 times 3 plus 1. 2 times 3 gives us 6, plus 1 gives us 7. That's 7/3. And 3 3/4. So that's 3 whole ones and 3/4. So how many quarters is that? Well, 3 4s are 12. So this is 12 quarters plus the 3. That's 15. 15 quarters. So now we can multiply them. 7/3 times 15 quarters. So we can just times the top and times the bottom, and then worry about simplifying after. But it's easier to simplify now. So on top we've got 7 times 15. On the bottom we've got 3 times 4. And we can cancel the 3 and the 15. So if we divide the top and bottom by 3, we get 1 times 4. And 15 divided by 3 is 5. So 7 times 5 and 1 times 4. 7 5s are 35. 1 4 is 4. So we've got 35 quarters now. We want 8 3/4. So 35 over 4. How many 4s go into 35? Well, 8. 8 4s go into 35. That's 32. And then we've got 3 left. So 35 quarters is the same as 8 3/4. Question 22. The diagram shows 4 graphs. So we've got graph A, graph B, graph C and graph D. And we're going to match equations to graphs. So graph A is a reciprocal graph. So that's y equals 1 over x. Graph B is a negative cubic. Y equals minus x cubed. Graph C is the positive cubic. Y equals x cubed. And graph D looks like a quadratic, which will be y equals x squared. So D was x squared. C was x cubed, and then A was 1 over x, and B was negative x cubed. Question 23. The diagram shows 4 triangles, so we've got 4 triangles drawn here. 2 of these triangles are congruent. That means they're identical, exactly the same. Write down the letters of these 2 triangles. So there are some rules for what makes triangles identical. Either they need to have all 3 sides the same, and we don't know the lengths of all 3 sides of any of these. We can have a side, angle, side, so 2 sides with an angle in between them. And again, we don't know that for any of these. Or angle, side, angle, 2 angles with a side in between them that are the same. Now we don't know that, but we can find the missing angle down here to see if that is the case. To see if this is 55, we'll have an angle, a side, and an angle. The other rule is a right angle triangle, the hypotenuse, and one other side. But we haven't got a right angle triangle here, so we're really looking at triangle D. If this is 55 degrees, then A and D are congruent. So angles in a triangle add up to 180. So 180, take away, well, 80 is 100. Then 100 take away 45 is 55. So this angle here is 55 degrees. So these two are identical. So this one will be 80. We've got two identical triangles here, A and D. Question 24. Sean pays £10 for 24 chocolate bars. He sells all 24 chocolate bars for 50p each. So that's 24 50p's. We'll give him £12. Work out his percentage profit. So percentage profit is going to be the change, how much the amount of money is changed by, how much it's gone up by, divided by the original, and then times 100. So it's gone up by £2. He had £10, now he's got £12. It's gone up by £2. He originally had £10. So it's 2/10 times 100. 200s are 200 divided by 10. That's 20. So it's 20% profit. Question 25. ADC is a triangle. So the big triangle, ADC. And we've got straight lines down here. EB is parallel to DC. And we've got angles given to us. They're marked on the diagram. Work out the size of EAB. That's the top one up here. So that's what we're working out. EAB. We can say that this angle here, AEB, is the same as ADC. These are corresponding angles. So we've got 63 degrees here. EAB and ADC are corresponding angles. So AEB is 63 degrees because corresponding angles are equal. We can also work out ABE because angles in a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So 180 take away 148 is 32 degrees. So ABE is 32 degrees because angles on a straight line add to 180 degrees. Now we've got a triangle, AEB. Angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees again. So we've got 63 and 32, which is 95. 180 take away 95 is 85. So AEB, EAB is 85 degrees. Angles in a triangle add to 180. Question 26. The table shows information about the heights in centimeters of a group of Year 9 girls. So we've got the lowest, the median, and the greatest. Here's a stem and leaf diagram showing information about the Year 9 boys. Compare the distribution. Okay, so for the girls, we've got the lowest, the median, and the greatest. For the boys, the lowest is 158. The greatest is 182. And the median, so there's 15. So we're going to cross off 7 from both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The median is 168. We're comparing the distributions, so we need to compare the median, and we'll compare the spread, we'll compare the range. So the range for the girls is 170 take away 150, which is 20. And the boys' range, the biggest take away the smallest, 182 take away 158, which is, so from 158 we go up 20 to get to 178, and then 4 more, so 24. So let's compare them. So for the medians, the boys is greater. So the boys have a greater median height. We could say they are taller on average. And the boys' heights are also more spread out. So the boys' heights are more spread out because they have a greater range. Question 27. The diagram shows a prism placed on a horizontal floor. The prism has a height of 3 meters and a volume of 18 meters cubed. The pressure on the floor is 75 newtons per meter squared. Work out the force. So we've been given the height and the volume, not the area, but we're going to need the area to put it into this formula, because we know the pressure. We want to work out the force, so we're going to need the area. And we know the volume of a prism is area of the cross section times the height. The volume is 18, so that's the area times the height, which is 3. So 18 equals the area times 3. If we divide by 3, we get an area of 6, and that's 6 meters squared. So the area of the base here, area of the base of the prism is 6 meters squared. So now we can use this formula. So pressure equals force over area. We want to work out the force. So if we multiply both sides by the area, so pressure times area will give us the force. So the pressure is 75 and the area is 6. So 75 times 6. 75 times 2 is 150. So 3 150s, that's 450 newtons. Question 28. Write these numbers in order of size. Start with the smallest number. So I guess we write them all in standard form, or write them all as ordinary numbers, and then we can compare them. 6.72 times 10 5 times. I'll leave that. I'll put them all into standard form. 67.2. So in standard form, we need a number between 1 and 10 at the front. So 67.2 is the same as 6.72 times 10. And then that's times 10 to the power of -4. So it's 6.72. So when we multiply indices, we add the powers. So we've got 1 plus -4, which is -3. 672 times 10 to the 4 is the same as 6.72 times 10 squared times 10 to the power of 4. Again, when we multiply indices, we add the powers. So that's 6.72 times 10 to the power of 6. And 0.000672 is the same as 6.72 divided by 10, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So times 10 to the power of -4. So the smallest is power of -4, then -3, then 5, then 6. So we've got 0.000672, then 67.2 times 10 to the power of -4, then 6.72 times 10 to the power of 5, and then 672 times 10 to the power of 4. Question 29. Given that A over B equals 2/5, so I'm just going to rewrite this as a ratio straight away. So A to B is 2 to 5, and B to C is 3 to 4. We need A to B to C. So we've got 2 to 5 and 3 to 4. To write it as one ratio, we need the B's to be the same. So we've got a 5 and a 3 at the moment. So let's multiply this one by 3, the A to B one by 3, and the B to C one by 5. And then the B's will both be 15. So A to B is 2 3s are 6, 5 3s are 15, and B to C, 3 5s are 15, and 4 5s are 20. So now the B's are the same in both of them. We can make it one ratio. So A to B to C is 6 to 15 to 20. So A to B is 6 to 15, and B to C is 15 to 20. Question 30. Make Q the subject of P equals 6Q plus 7. So make Q the subject means get Q by itself. So we need to get rid of the plus 7 first. To get rid of a plus 7, we take 7 away from both sides. So that will give us P minus 7 equals 6Q. So now we've got a Q multiplied by 6. To get rid of a multiplication, we do the opposite, which is divide. So divide both sides by 6. So Q is P minus 7 over 6. Part B, simplify. M to the power of negative 2 to the power of negative 3. So when we've got brackets with indices, we multiply the powers. So negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6. A negative times a negative is a positive. So it's M to the power of 6.